Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Tyvis Powell, Jason Lloyd. Plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Pittsburgh.
Here we are, the latest edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Tyvis and G here with me, and Mikey McNuggets is out. Earl for Mikey McNuggets today. How you guys doing? What's going on?
Doing good, man.
I want everybody to know that this is not a Baltimore Ravens jersey.
Right.
It is the great one, Wayne Gretzky, who's the greatest hockey player to ever play.
There you see the Kings on the shoulder there.
King.
For a second, I was confused. First, I thought it was Ravens, and I was like, is this some sort of weird Cavaliers jersey? Because there's a big C on there.
And then I'm like, man, is that a created logo? I ain't seen this King before.
You got to be versatile. You can't just wear basketball and football on and baseball. You got to put a hockey jersey on.
There you go.
He's got Ragnar Lothbrok on his chest.
Wayne Gretzky.
that like Leif Erikson. Scandinavian King. Swashbuckle. Oh, shout out to the characters. Shout out to my people. They like the characters.
What colors does this hoodie come in?
Hey man, I got all. Listen, man, this coming in godly white. You know what I'm saying? Pristine white. This comes in a dark gray.
I like how the characters' jerseys switch too.
Yeah. See how they switch up?
It's the away jerseys, right?
That away joint. They got the double setback numbers, man. They got characters, man. Listen, you might want to get this down, because when these cartoons come out, this gonna hit different. They're like, what? He has cartoons. Yeah, we got cartoon characters.
A lot of things in the works right now.
Yeah, man. I have no money coming in.
What about
all my money goes to everything.
What about the beauty?
It's all going out.
What about the beauty care?
Oh, shout out to Evan 419. By the way, I gave a beauty kit out, and there's we've sent samples to those people out there for the beauty line. They love it. The ladies is loving it. Some people's getting it for Christmas. Man, they got we got the serum.
Yeah,
we got the body. The cream for nighttime, daytime moisturizing cream, and we got a cleanser as well. So we rolling, bro.
There you got the bracelets going today. I ain't never seen these. Look at this.
These a little something light, man. This is just
where do you produce the products there?
Factory.
You get a zoom in on this jewelry.
Factory. All this stuff, like Earl's like, yo, you got where the purple joints at?
Yeah.
I said I only drop ship, Earl. I don't have any at the house.
Right. I hit G at 6:30 this morning, like, where my hoodie at?
Yeah, where my hoodie at, dog?
What hoodie you got?
He trying to come.
I wanted that hoodie.
We got another one coming, purple playoff coming out here.
Nobody's getting these for free. Some people are. You've been giving away stuff.
No, I was gonna pay for it.
Right. Aha! You can't get it free though, bull.
Yeah.
All you gotta do, if you guys don't know, I do the barbershop here Tuesdays and Thursdays mostly. And every time I go on, I'm giving something free. All you got to do is pull out. I'm the only show you
Tuesdays or Mondays? I thought it was Mondays.
Oh, excuse me, Mondays. Yeah, Mondays and Thursdays. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm the only show you go on, and I give out something every show. So you can just pull up, get the code word of the day, put it in, and I'm giving out. So shout out to people that's pulling up. You can get it free.
There you go.
Wait, let me ask, am I allowed to be in that too? So
is he eligible?
Yeah. Oh, hell no. That's against FCC rules.
Yeah.
Family members and coworkers cannot join.
You're out,
cannot join in the partakings. This is only for the regular general public.
Yeah. Although, I appreciate G. Bush, Tyvis, and Anthony all showing up at my first live podcast.
Did you see me get into it with this kid named Anthony Cantaspelli? Did you not see it?
I saw you tweet at me.
They was going
not tweet, but send a message.
So what happened?
What happened with you and Anthony? I didn't notice that.
So what happened was I'm in there and I said we are live, right? Because it took like 6 or 7 minutes for you to get it going.
Right.
So I'm in there, and next thing I see is this Anthony character sends a message talking about let's get Tyvis banned from YouTube. So I say that Anthony. So I say that this Anthony character. I said that's why your graphics stink.
Dang, bro.
He comes back at me and he says, my graphics are better than your takes.
Wow.
I was right.
Wow.
This is some harsh stuff. Anthony, you starting a fight here?
Check this out.
Absolutely.
Boy, check this out. Speaking
Yeah.
of Anthony, leave the camera on Anthony, man. I gotta announce this. My man has been promoted effective January 1st, 2024, from associate producer of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show to producer of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, man. So y'all give my man a round of applause.
Yeah. What's Mike?
Y'all
That
are
means Mike's got a
officially
new
stuck
title.
with me for another year.
So Mike's gone.
I'm gonna let Mike spill his own great news.
No, Mike's not gone.
Hey,
but-
you know what's so crazy? Now y'all can cut everybody off. Shut up! Shut your mouth. We gotta get to a read.
They gonna put the
It
paper.
doesn't
still
mean you
gonna
guys
keep
are gonna listen
talking.
to us.
Yeah,
They
put
still
the
gonna
paper
say-
up.
But
Hey,
anyway,
hold him down, Earl. Hold him down.
But yeah,
hold him
I'm gonna
down.
let Mike share his own good news with y'all when he come back, man. But congrats to my brother right here, because he done worked
good
hard.
job,
for that.
Anthony. Congratulations.
Even though you can't spell
on your upgraded title. Hopefully
Yeah.
you got a raise with that title. I wanna
Hopefully,
see.
hopefully the graphics is better.
Well, maybe. But I'll be helping Earl out with his own show. So, Earl, if you want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, you got
I
that.
didn't.
Drop. Oh.
Yeah, tell us about, which we've heard about this behind the scenes, but nothing was confirmed.
So it became
yet,
official yesterday. I am on board with UCSS for 2024. I too got a title promotion. But
Yeah.
the most important thing about this, as you all know, I love to talk about sports, everyday life in Cleveland, and the culture. And I get the opportunity to do that with a brand new show called the Ultimate 216 Show. So excited. Start date is to be determined, but it's signed, sealed, and it'll be delivered real soon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Earl. Yeah.
Way to go.
My boy.
Congratulations to both of you. Your hard work
Yeah.
is paid off. What's great about this show and this crew is that we all root for each other, even when we're busting each other's balls. And that hard work pays off. A lot of times in this business, you can work hard and you're not appreciated for that, and you're just asked to do more and taken advantage of. And that happens everywhere in this business, unfortunately. But here, the hard work pays off, so congratulations to both of you. Your show, well, we'll get more details once we have them.
And of course,
if you
Director Steve is here every day to get on Tyvus' nerves. Nothing has changed.
And by the way, if you want to join a media
I don't know what
outlet,
his deal is. Steve's mad because I'm the person that he wishes he could be.
I do wish I could be Tyvus's age. I will say that. I wish I were 29.
this is crazy.
I would love to be 29 again. Imagine being 20. Steve, imagine being 29. Steve, imagine being 29 with the knowledge you have now. That's how I feel. Like, if I could be 29 again with the knowledge I have now,
Man, I don't need that. Let me be
pretty sweet.
Let me be 29 with a metabolism on my paycheck now. Everybody out of here.
What about right now with the knowledge that Steve has learned from us talking about sports? Do you think if he could go back in the time, he'd play sports?
no.
No.
That's not his thing.
Steve gonna do what Steve's doing right now.
Steve, the man knows what he's good at.
Steve, you ain't
He is-
interested. You don't think you'd be interested to go like shoot some hoops or
No.
He's gonna do
play
exactly.
wide receiver?
He's gonna do exactly what he's doing now, producing, being a director.
It's so
and,
much-
and starting his fight club in the middle of the night.
Gee, it's so much more to life than instruments and cameras
What?
and cruises.
Hey, you know what? Think about for all of us, besides Steve, how much more time we'd have in our lives if it wasn't for sports, right? You know, who knows what we'd be doing? Maybe we'd be curing cancer. I don't know.
I think I don't know what
Life would be really bad.
Yeah, I don't.
What if, it might, maybe it wouldn't.
Man, I used
You
to
know
be-
what I would do? I
Yeah.
would start the curveball league.
The curveball, what was that?
You ain't
What
never
was that?
played curveball?
No, I have no idea
So
what that is.
so when you know how
You
on
get
the
2
sh-
points if you throw it over
Come
the
on
court.
now, Earl. When you stand on the side of the street, you know how you
Yeah.
got the curve. You
Yeah.
take a bouncy ball and you throw it.
Yeah.
And when it hit the curve, if it bounce off the curve, you get a point.
Never played that before.
Oh, it was the greatest game. You know,
Really?
when you ain't got a basketball hoop or
Yeah.
stuff like that, you get that bouncy ball and you go in the front of your house and you just throw it off the curb, boom, and it bounce off.
We'd play stickball in the street.
Man, that works too. I play
Well,
hockey.
we
I used to
play
play
football in the
hockey
street.
with baseball bats.
We would play baseball with tennis rackets.
I used to actually play tennis
You did?
until I was 13 years old.
Look at you.
I was pretty good.
So
Too.
you was good
Now
on your
you Pete
feet.
Sampras.
You could have been
okay.
the male Serena Williams.
Did you play offense too in high school?
Of course I did. I made all state in offense.
What position?
Guard. They stripped me of my tight end duties. I was stripped. It was like, yeah, give me that single digit back too. Get your big tail. And my dad ratted me out. He ratted me out. He said, my son could play guard.
Yeah.
I didn't ask to play guard, Dad.
I want to play tight end.
I want to play tight end and DN and have a single digit. It never worked out for me.
By the way, I think if there were no sports, G and I could have starred in the new version of Miami Vice.
Or Beverly Hills Cops.
Yeah, but like with big guys.
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
we would have been the big guys. We'd be, all the chicks would love us.
like we had this weird comedic, you know what I'm saying, stuff going on. And it'd be weird.
We'd have to have like a sidekick who was like a little nerdy guy.
Anthony?
Yeah, maybe Anthony.
You know what? That's a depressing topic because I don't think outside of sports, I don't have a hobby.
That's dangerous.
I know it is. All I know is sports.
My wife's like so many.
Now I know them really well. Now
so many of my friends, like they'll go like I don't know, do other things. They'll go shooting guns. I have some friends that shoot guns, or go play golf.
Only when necessary.
Second Amendment guys.
No, they're not. They're just, I don't know. It's just like, I really don't have anything to I mean, television, I guess, just regular television.
Hey, this getting creepy.
I don't watch TV. Like,
it's getting creepy.
Like, I don't have a hobby.
I don't really have
and to channel Earl's Inner McNuggets, I should see this right now.
Yeah, that's true. Let's keep it moving. We're going to talk about some big news out of the Browns-Texans game. We'll have Leroy Horde in about 20 minutes. We'll have Cecil Shorts coming up later in the show. We'll talk about Myles Garrett's case for Defensive Player of the Year, and we'll talk about the Browns adding a young veteran defensive tackle to the mix. But first, Earl, for the latest.
Man, you guys are hilarious. As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, NFL customers can get $150 in bonus bets with a winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/UCSS and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
By the way, in addition to thanking these guys for coming in, I wanted to thank all the fans that came into my live podcast yesterday. And speaking of those fans, we need Creative Juice or somebody else. Please, can we get a mock-up of G and I as the guys from Miami Vice, Crockett and Tubbs? Wasn't that what it was, Crockett and Tubbs? I'd like to see that mock-up. I think that would be funny. All right, guys, big news coming out of Houston. Obviously, the Browns are playing the Texans on Sunday. There was a report from one of the Texans beat reporters saying C.J. Stroud is still dealing with concussion symptoms. And he said he's almost definitely not going to play. So right now, I mean, unless we hear anything different today when they practice, it seems like it's a long shot for C.J. Stroud to play. Big deal. Is there anybody here that thinks the Texans are better off with the veteran in Case Keenum? Can we make that case or no way?
No, we cannot. Coleridge doesn't he lead the NFL in passing yards?
I think he probably does per game.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't play last week.
Coleridge is special. I got to watch him for two seasons at Ohio State, and he did his thing. And, he throws a really good ball. And, that's the thing about him. He's a great leader. I thought that even if he did play, he'd be kind of at a disadvantage because Tank Dell is out. And I think Nico Collins missed last week with the hamstring.
So Tank Dell's out for the year.
Yeah.
Nico did miss last week. He might be back.
Yeah.
They have Noah Brown, the veteran who played
Bucks.
the game.
Who had a game-winning touchdown. Go Bucks.
Yeah, he's had a weird season. He's been a boom or bust guy. He either gets like 100 yards or zero. Noah Brown is probably the most physical wide receiver that I went against at Ohio State. Now, he flew under the radar until after I left. I think 2016 was his big year. But he was built like a tight end, but he played wide receiver. He was very physical. He was the guy that when you had so DBs used to do they had to do the stalk block drill. You know the stalk block drill? Stalk block drill, for people that don't know, is the wide receiver. It's a ball carry behind the wide receiver. So the wide receiver will run up 5 yards. He stop, and the DB has to come and get around him and make the tackle. So he's got to block you, right? If you seen Noah, you would back up and go somewhere. I'm not going with him. That's the respect that he had. Okay.
You would look and see where you at. You see who you got. I ain't going with him. Somebody else take him. Yeah, because that dude is crazy.
He's got to send the freshman to go.
Dude was crazy.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, my condolences goes out to C.J. Stroud.
Coleridge.
get healthy. You know what I'm saying? You know, take your time getting back.
You sick.
You don't want to rush that, man.
No,
you got a bright
so
you got a
sick,
bright
man.
future ahead of you, my man.
You don't want to get another
You
concussion
don't
so
wanna-
quick.
It's Christmas, the holiday season. Take your time off, man. You and your family enjoy yourself. But back to this football, though. Back to this people on the field. Heck yeah. Listen, I don't want no parts of CJ Stroud. I hated this game when I seen the schedule after he started throwing for 300 yards and being all composed and saying all the right stuff and hitting and coming back from game-winning touchdowns. I don't want no parts of CJ Stroud. You stay right over there where you at. Give me some of that Case Keenum.
Yeah.
And I don't want none of your weapons to be there. Nico Collins, I don't have to say
Rest that hammy, man. Rest it.
Hey, listen, hamstrings, I told you, I've had 18 surgeries. I can wish that the soft tissue stuff. If you got hamstrings, groins, ankle injuries, get out of here. That don't count. You go ahead and sit that out too. So now let's go, man. We need to understand we need to go into this game. We can't clinch anything. No, actually, there's about 10 things you can't clinch.
Yeah.
But it starts with us winning this game. Very pivotal.
By the way, C.J. Stroud is 4th in the NFL in yards per game. But of guys that have played at least 10 games, he's actually 2nd, and he's less than a yard per game behind Tua. As a rookie,
With nowhere near the weapons he got.
Ridiculous.
Well-
You know who's leading the league, and it's not official because he hasn't played enough games, but you know who's leading the league in passing yards per game?
Kirk Cousins?
He's 2nd. Even though he hasn't played 10 games, he's 2nd. Who's number 1?
It ain't Joe, who hasn't played 10 games.
The guy leading the league in yards per game, any amount of games. But he hasn't played enough to qualify, but he actually leads the league.
Jake Browning?
This is a terrible job out of you guys.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco! He
man.
leads the league in passing yards per
He
game.
does, doesn't he? I saw that.
313 yards per game.
That's
Number
crazy.
1 in the NFL.
That's crazy, man.
Isn't that nuts?
Hey, listen, Flaccovelli. Listen, I told you, I'm all for the air raid. We run air raid now. I listen. I need double reverse flea flickers, all that good stuff. I'm cool. We air raid now.
I'll tell you what, the thing I like about the Case Keenum thing is Kevin Stefanski knows him, and some people on his defense know him because.
What you mean? We know all his stuff.
My point exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
therefore, you should be able to know what to take away and what he's not good at. I mean, this is the same guy that couldn't start over hurt Baker Mayfield.
They put in this when we was watching Case Keenum. Hey, we sitting on all the bootlegs. We sitting. Hey, there should be a defensive end sitting there, Indian style, waiting for him like this.
How many yards did Case Keenum have last week?
220, I think.
225, one touchdown, one pick. You know what that is? That's
So wait a minute. What they was running the ball? Let me go look this up.
I don't know how they won. Really.
I
I don't know how they came back because they was down 14-0.
I think it was 14-3 or something.
Yeah,
Or
13
something like that. Noah Brown had a good game. I think Noah Brown had 100 yards, if I remember correctly, or something like that. I know he had a good game. But, they don't have a ton of weapons.
Devin Singletary went for 121 yards.
He's actually played really well. They had Damian Pierce was their starting back early in the season. He'd been their starter last year. Singletary, kind of out of nowhere because he hadn't done that much in Buffalo. He's played very well for them. I don't know what his numbers are in the year, but since he's been their starter, he's been pretty good. So he's really their biggest threat. Especially if Nico Collins doesn't play.
711
yeah,
yards.
I mean, he's having a pretty good year, and since he's been the starter, he's been pretty good.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
He's got a shot for 1,000 yards this
The
season.
person outside of Devin Singletary, if Nico Collins doesn't play, even if he does play, our safety's gonna have a big game, particularly
Their tight end.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not killing you.
This game plan is probably the most cut, dry, clear game plan we've seen in a long time. That is, they're going to have to run the ball in order for Case Keenum to be effective. That means on first down, I like what the Browns did against the Bears. They made sure that they sold out and said, look, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to just beat us on deep throws and contested throws.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be up here letting him get four a crack and then letting the pace slow down for the Browns.
Yeah.
Another thing is You got to get out. You want to get up on this team. If I can never express this more enough, they have to, when they're playing this team, 10-0, 14-0, quick start, so that now you got your D-line on turf against Case Keenum,
right,
and you got your 3 corners back here.
Right.
That's what we need. That's lights out for them.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the Titans aren't a very good team, so they couldn't take advantage of that situation.
Yeah.
But the Browns obviously have a much better pass rush, and if they put the Texans in situation where they got to throw, that's a terrible situation. I think this is a huge deal. I mean, obviously, I think it's a no-brainer. It's a huge deal that C.J. Stroud is not playing. With C.J. Stroud, this game's a toss-up.
Yes.
You would even argue that the Texans should be favored as they are because they're at home. And with C.J. Stroud, they've been really good. Without him, I think the Browns should be favored in this game. I think the difference between Stroud and Keenum is almost a touchdown.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's, I think it goes from a really tough Browns win to a game they absolutely should win.
You got to have
There's no excuse for losing. The next 2 weeks, they're facing Case Keenum and then, I don't know, Trevor Siemian? I don't know who's playing for the Jets.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, when Jake Browning is the best quarterback you're going to face the last 3 weeks, you should, and he's played really well, like Flacco has.
So what you're saying is, y'all owe Earl an apology for when he said they was going to go 5-0.
Yes. Well, if they go 5-0, we will owe an apology.
Look at Earl. Earl, I got to make sure you get your flowers, bro.
I mean, at the time, he said 80%.
They said it was ludicrous.
It was crazy to say 80%, but if it turns out to be right, then he was actually wrong. It should have been 100%.
Yeah. You see how Bull flipped that? You see how he flipped that?
I got to flip it on you. I got to flip it on you. But, yes, I mean, Earl's prediction, this has turned out a lot better than the 6-0 from last year. That went down the tubes. This is looking pretty good. But you still got 3 more games to win. None of these are in the bag.
The only thing that scares me about this game is I need to know how offensive line is going to play. Like I said, I don't know outside of Will Allen. I don't really know. I'm not familiar with the Texas D-line and pass rush.
Because Montez Sweat in particular killed the Browns last week.
Yeah, so it's like, and I think like every game from now on is going to be a good D-line. The Jets, even though they stink offensively, they got a great D-line.
Bengals got a good D-line, although they lost Reader.
They lost Reader, but they still got a good defensive line.
Ends.
Trey Hendrickson is having a great season.
Their linebackers playing well, too.
So that's why I'm like, the offensive line, like, that's why I'm like, they the way that they keep going and not addressing it, I get it. I got faith in Bill.
Callahan.
I do.
Sure.
Like, Bill's done his thing.
Yeah.
But, like, at some point, like, we still got to run the ball. Like, I'm down with the air raid until the air raid, like, to the shoulder sore.
But, Titus, to some degree, aren't they using all these screen passes as part of the, isn't that?
Yep.
Does that not count?
Yes.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable.
You asking a 39-year-old person to throw the ball 40-something times a game. You don't think that's going to hurt?
It makes no sense. On paper, it makes no sense. And it very easily could backfire if he gets hurt or something.
And on top of that, the turnover thing. Like, you put the ball in the air, it is 2 things that can happen. No, it's 3 potential outcomes.
2 out of 3 that are bad.
Yes. Like, 66% of it's bad.
I
mean, you could fumble too, though. No, I mean.
So you want to make it 3 out of 3? You want to make it 75%.
I'm saying in the run game, you could fumble. You could get stopped for no yards.
Now if Joe Patonio gets back and Ethan Poaches gets back, then I feel like, okay, well, now the run game is back on. As constituted, from what I saw from Nick Harris at center, from what I saw at guard and what I saw at the 2 tackles, they just can't run the ball. They can't. They're not physically. Like, when I say they can't, they don't, like, listen, they're not, I don't want to say this lightly, but come on, bro. These dudes Nick Harrison's not blocking nobody, not no nose tackles. Like, he's too light in the britches.
He lost to somebody on, like, a short yardage.
Like,
they went right past.
They are.
What is Ethan's injury?
Stinger, I think a neck injury.
Ooh, that's serious.
Yeah, neck injury. So, like, if they can get those 2 back, but as now, they're getting dominated up front physically, like locking out, looking where the ball is, disregarding them, and making a play. Old school.
That's disrespect. They getting 2 gaps.
Yeah, right there. It's like, if you let somebody do you like that, and you feel like you strong enough to just disregard their manpower this way or that way, that's disrespectful up front, and that's how they was getting done.
Guys, before we'll get back to C.J. Stroud and all this coming up a little bit later. We're going to have Leroy Horde on with us shortly. I wanted to bring up something real quick because the Browns did add a player to the practice squad, and this time of year, with as many injuries as the Browns have had, it's worth mentioning every time you bring in a new guy. The new guy they brought in is a defensive tackle by the name of Chris Williams. He is signed to the practice squad. He has some experience. He was undrafted out of Wagner, which is a school in Long Island. He played he's been back and forth between the Colts and their practice squad in 21 and 22. I believe he never started, but I believe he's played like more than a dozen games over the last 2 years. And this year he's been, I believe, on the Chiefs practice squad. So they're 13 games he's played. So it's a guy with a little bit of experience. I don't know how good he is. I'm rooting for him because he's from Brooklyn, baby! Lafayette High School is not my high school, but I'm down with Lafayette High School.
Claiming him.
And so there you go.
They did this move because Tommy Togiai, go Bucks, got signed.
He's probably better than Tommy Togiai.
Well, he got signed to the Falcons.
I'm going to say he's better than
active
Tommy.
roster. So with that being said, you got to replace that position for practice reasons. So
when they sign you for the practice squad,
you are automatically guaranteed 3 game checks. Even if you go there for 1 week and they cut you, you still getting 3 game checks.
And that game check is based on what? Don't they have to
prorated?
Don't they have to renegotiate
minimum salary?
No, it's off of whatever your minimum deal, whatever deal you're on. So as you're a rookie, it was $450 for me. It's probably gone up from there. So rookie for me, $450. If I was playing 3 games, that's about $16,000 a check.
Man, you know what's so crazy? But they get taxes and dues out of that.
Yes, they are.
So
that was my take-home pay.
So okay, I got you.
You took home 16.
Yeah. Hold on. I got it for you. Hold on. Hold on. I got it for you. I'll tell you exactly what it is.
God, if I could get them checks back.
Man,
it's probably a little more.
All right, here we go. So this check right here, this was in 2018. So 450 was 16, 540. So 630 was my salary at this time. 630. Before taxes, my check was $37,000.
Okay.
After taxes took out $20,000. This is San Francisco, highest taxes. Taxes took out $20,000.
What?
I took home $15,000 because I had to pay.
20 racks.
It's a lot.
20 racks.
I had to pay union dues, 401k. So I went home with $15,000. So out of $37,000 before taxes, my take home was $15,000. I was getting that week.
Don't worry, the billionaires are not paying any taxes.
If you would have went to a state with no taxes, did that count too?
It depends on what state you play.
I was in Seattle. Seattle had no. I think they had.
They have a state tax.
I don't think they did.
Yeah, definitely.
Dallas then. I was in Dallas.
All the liberal cities got
Dallas.
All blue states have.
You won't get taxed.
I was in Dallas.
Because they take care of people.
Dallas, so I took an injury settlement. And injury settlement, when you settle, you get 3. You settle for how many game checks you settle. For me, it was 4. I took a 4-week settlement, which I had to do because it was my 4th year in the league, and to get your pension, you got to do 4 years and 3 games. So you got to get the 4th year.
So you
3 years.
So you
3 years and 4 games.
So you did get your pension.
Yes.
Well, you good then. What you talking about? Get yourself over here.
So this was.
Wait a minute. Hold something, Titus. Let me hold something, bro.
My take home from 4 games, I think it was $60,000. So 60 divided by 4 is what?
$15,000 a game.
Yeah.
Was you married at the time?
No, I was still with my woman though, my wife now.
I got a question. So like if you got penalized during that game,
they take it right out your check.
It come out your game
right
check
out
as well?
your game check.
So like, if you get 4 or 5 penalties, that's 4 or 5.
No. Fined,
not penalties.
If you get fined, it comes right out.
Did you ever get fined?
No, heck no. I can't afford to.
What time is say or do?
Them fines be like $15. I'll be playing for free for that week. Yeah. No.
Tyvis he don't get in any trouble, man.
Yeah, nope.
He's the
Listen,
best.
When I go out there for pregame, that fashion police will say, you got to have them socks pulled up or something like that. You can't wear those. Yeah. When they come out the game, it ain't going to be like that.
My fault, officer.
Richard Sherman's like, F you!
No, Sherm didn't do the fashion thing.
Yeah.
But Sherm did get fined for a fight one day, and it was hilarious.
We got Leroy. Earl, did you say?
Yeah, but first let me get a read in.
Yeah.
All right, before we bring in Leroy, I just want to let you know as the weather gets colder, the NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 for if your team wins. So if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/UCSS and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. With that, we welcome in our friend Leroy Hort.
Leroy, man, I gotta touch down on your finances real quick. You know I like hearing I like hearing NFL stories.
We were just talking about Tyvus's pension from the league.
I was thinking. Let me tell y'all a story. So, the year I went to the Pro Bowl,
right?
One of my first touchdowns at Cleveland Stadium. It was hype. I bulldozed like 4 dudes, broke 3 tackles, spin, turn, twist, touchdown. I threw the ball in the stands.
Oh,
right? But we won. So the old line came in there and said, you better throw that thing in the stands again. Right? So every time I scored, I threw the ball in the stands. Now, hold up. So the first fine was $1,500.
Okay.
Now that ain't bad.
Then $2,500.
It usually does.
Progressive.
Then $7,500. Then $10,000. Then $15,000. Right? Now, the cool thing about that was, first of all, I wasn't making no money. Right? People don't understand. My first year in the NFL, I was the 45th pick.
That's crazy.
I was the first pick in the draft, and the 45th pick in the draft, and I made $100,000.
Wow.
For the whole year. Right. So, but the guys on offense say you better throw the ball in the stands. We winning. But every week, they asked me how much the fine was, and they put the money on my desk.
Hey,
straight cash on me.
Hey, I like that. Hey,
I got the write-off and I got the money. You know what I'm saying? So, but then, I'm trying to think. The police would get me for the socks all the time, right?
Why would you do?
You know what I did? No, because here's the problem. I had to wear the big socks, right? And you know the big socks, if you pull them up, they go all the way up to your thigh.
Yeah.
And so I would kind of push them down and roll them up, right? But all of the stripes wasn't showing when we had them stupid stripes.
Oh, yeah.
And they would try to get me, so I sent a pair of them socks to the NFL. You put these socks on and tell me if some stripes going to show. And they gave me some of my money back. My rookie year, the only time I played in the Superdome, I had never played in the Superdome, right? I had Pookie, Uncle Junebug, all my friends, right? You know what my check said at the end of the week? To be continued on next check.
They garnished your joint, Leroy.
Guess what?
Them tickets was there.
No, that's for the tickets.
Yeah, the tickets.
Yeah, for the tickets.
Right
so guess what? Guess what I said? I ain't never got no more friends like that.
Bro,
that's the end of that.
You know, Leroy, y'all didn't have direct deposit back then. So did you literally have to go take
deposit
this check and be like, give me my money?
Yep, they hand out. You go get the check, and sometimes I just put it in my little backpack, and I have like 3-4 checks. And I go deposit them at the same time.
Damn.
Because I wasn't like, you ain't spending money.
Leroy, let's talk about these Cleveland Browns. You know, as the offensive line, as instituted right now, as it is. How do you? Don't you think we got to do a run? We got to figure out how to run the ball, like, because this air raid thing ain't gonna last.
It's getting to that time. The Tyvus, you know what time it is. I sent out a tweet. I saw the wind blowing sideways. It was rainy. It's that time of year in Cleveland. You know what that means. Run the damn ball. right? Now, kudos to Kevin Stefanski, who still came up with a game plan without being able to run the ball. For whatever reason. Sometimes I just can't figure out why they can or can't run the ball, right? Are they really making a commitment to it, or are they running just to run, right? I don't know. I know you got a lot of guys on that offensive line that have been moved around, in and out, guys getting hurt during the game. So it's tough. It's really tough. That being said, right, it's always easier from offensive linemen to run the ball than it is to pass protect. Yet they seem to be doing it the other way.
Yeah. They're getting.
Well,
so
wait a second.
I can't explain it.
But Leroy, not every offensive lineman's going to be better at run blocking than pass blocking.
Everyone. I'm telling you right now.
Wow.
Every offensive line in the NFL are better run blockers than in pass protect. It is easier to run block than it is to pass protect. And the only problem you get, I don't care who you are, if you have an offense that drops back and throws it all the time without even committing to the run, eventually it catches up to you. That's a fact.
Let me ask you this along those same lines. When I was watching it, what do you do when, I can understand it on the run game where they may bring more guys than you got. What happens if you're just physically getting pushed in the backfield? If you're physically getting dominated, what can you run to continue to run the football? Because I'm seeing the center and the guard getting down. I'm like, you can't have that.
Yeah.
The tackles getting beat. So what are some things that they're going to have to do if physically they just can't get it done up front?
You do a lot of pin and pull. You do a lot of trapping. If you're getting bulldozed, you got to hit them from the side. You do a little team up to the second level. You got to find ways. You got to find ways to do it. But think about it, okay? If that's happening in the run, you know what that looks like in the pass game?
Yeah,
when the offense is actually on their heels.
Yeah,
but they have better players in the pass game, right? Jerome Ford's he seems to run with no. I mean, there's like no vision there. He's missing holes.
That's the other thing that, when we think about running back talent, we always look at speed, we always look at power, we always look at all these attributes to the person, but we never talk about their eyes, their ability to see and anticipate a hole, right? Sometimes a slower running back can be more productive because of his vision.
Yeah.
So it's not all about the tangible things that this guy can do, right? Sometimes a running back is real patient. He picks his spot. Boom, boom, boom. Hit it, right? Sometimes he can use his speed. Sometimes he's quick through the hole. There's a lot of different ways that makes a running game work. And we can't, I don't want to just put it on the offensive line, but here's rule number one in running the football. Tyvus, they talk about this on defense. If you are stalemated on defense or you getting pushed down, the offense is winning. They will always talk about we are getting no penetration. They'll show that all 22 from the side.
The line of scrimmage.
And they'll say, look at where the line of scrimmage is. Mm-hmm. Right? They do it both offensively and defensively. So if you want to know why the offense isn't running the ball, some of that is Jerome Ford. Maybe his vision isn't as good, and he's getting impatient. A lot of fast running backs get impatient. They're not patient, picking their spots. It really looks cool, though, when they are patient, because that explosion looks great. You wait, you hit it. It looks unbelievable when you can do that, right? You look that much faster. A lot of it has to do with them pushing into the backfield and shrinking that time that he has to read. But, yeah, they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out because guess what? These next 3 weeks, I mean, I don't need to tell y'all what Cleveland weather is like in December.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're in Houston this week, but the next 2 weeks.
Houston, they'll be okay. Houston.
Yeah. But
Houston,
the next 2 weeks, right. But let me ask you this, Leroy. To your point about having maybe you're better off with a slower back who has better vision. You know, the Ravens just because Keaton Mitchell, their young running back, got hurt, and they had Melvin Gordon on their practice squad, and they signed him to the active roster. And it made me think, I was like, wouldn't the Browns be better off right now with a guy like Melvin Gordon, a guy like Latavius Murray, that type of player who's a veteran, who doesn't have the speed they once had, but they're seeing the holes, these guys, because they've been through it all, kind of like Flacco at quarterback. Would they be better off with a guy like that right now who might be on somebody's practice squad?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily. It's a hard thing to determine, and here's what. It's a hard thing to determine what a guy is seeing and what he's not, right? My coach never – I remember when I was in Cleveland. My coach would never say to me, why didn't you go here? He would always ask me, what did you see, right? What are you looking at? Because if he can get your mind in the right frame of what you're looking at or what you're looking for, then your athletic ability can then take over, right? And so sometimes that's real hard to get young running backs not to panic, right? I think one of the things Jerome Ford, he want to use his speed. But guess what? There ain't enough speed in the world to get around the outside all the time.
Right.
Right? And so that's what you learn. You learn that, hey, I got to be a little more patient with this. So it's something that, one of the hardest things for a football team to go through, right, is to have a young guy that's learning the ropes and you ain't got time for that nonsense. I ain't got time for you to learn how to play running back. You need to play running back. Right? I ain't got time for you to get your feet wet. We trying to win now. But everybody has to go through a process of learning how to play the position that you play. So I'm not going to just discredit his abilities, but I will say there are times where it almost seems like he panics and he wants to just take off and run. And he probably, the thing that would help him is slowing it down a little bit because he has the explosiveness to get through holes. So slow it down a little bit and be a little more patient, and it'll look even that much better than him just running around and running in the back of somebody because you didn't give it time to develop.
Leroy, it's like a 20-page paper that of a scenario of how the Browns can clinch the playoffs. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say that the Browns clinch the playoffs. Would you rest the starters for the next 2 weeks?
2 weeks?
Who? Who started?
Are you crazy?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, boy, I got this.
Yeah. All right, good.
Wait a minute. Wait. Not
Leroy.
Not the starter. Joe Flacco. Just Joe Flacco.
No!
You're digging your hole bigger, Tyvis.
Here's why.
What?
Here's why.
DTR can't win the next two?
I'm going to tell you why. I know this is going to sound bad, and I'm sorry, Joe Flacco. I'm sorry, Browns fans. By the way, Merry Christmas to everybody. Okay?
Before I say something.
About to say something really bad.
What I'm about to say is not going to be in the holiday spirit. But y'all tell me in that first half, you wasn't saying, here's the Flacco game.
We was in the text chain. We was in the text chain going back and forth. We was like, hey, because he could have threw 4 picks that first half.
So here's why I don't sit nobody, right? If it come, I'd rather it come when they clinch instead of wait for it to come in the playoffs. Because, sometimes when things are too good to be true, like this team, let me tell you, this team as a whole, they have won games in the last few years they have no business winning.
At all.
In the last few years, we would come in there and talk about these games going, they let another one slip away, and now they winning all those games.
Yeah.
So, nobody get a damn break.
Leroy.
You need to figure out this offensive line. Flacco Listen, he only played 3 games. He been sitting at home playing with his baby.
Right, he threw the ball 44 times a game. He almost 39.
Hey,
He can't keep doing this.
Hey, you know what gunslingers like to do? Sling the pill, baby.
Right.
He is in his element. He is in his element. Sometimes he throw it hard just to say he still got it, and no damn way in the world he should have been throwing it where he threw it. Right?
That's crazy, Leroy. When you look at I was just about to ask you, in terms of like the big picture.
Right.
Does Joe Flacco, in the big picture, because he is one of them dudes that can throw you 2, but he'll throw 3 for you. He'll throw the other team 2, but he'll come back and be delusional and say, no, I got it. In the scheme of things, with the playoff teams involved, are the Browns literally this year a legitimate contender? Like legitimate AFC Championship, Super Bowl. Like,
here's why. It ain't got nothing to do with Flacco. It ain't got nothing to do with that offense. Dude, that defense is playing on a different level.
yeah.
A different level. And so from that standpoint, the more confidence they get, right, it seems like that confidence spreads amongst the whole field. And you got Joe Flacco is a cool dude, right? That dude don't flinch. He throw 3 picks and he just shrug his shoulders and say, all right, let's go. And I think that is a energy in itself where guys look at him and say, look how calm he is and he messing up.
Yeah.
We can get this, right? It's something to be said about that. So the way that defense is playing and how cool Joe Flacco has handled it. I mean, look, he ain't never been a guy that I've known to run, but he is just elusive enough where he can throw the football. It's amazing. So the hell with all them numbers, right? We watching these games.
Yeah.
And them numbers don't do the job that Joe Flacco's doing justice.
That's a good point.
Right? We watching these games and watching the throws that he's making when he need to make them. And them numbers don't mean squat. And here's the other thing. Who else you got?
That's why Tyvus asked, do you sit him? The worst enemy is
Well, you can't. Plus, you don't sit him because you could still win the division.
I mean,
Hey,
not
here's
now.
Here's why you don't sit him. He only played 3 games and you want to give him a rest?
Leroy, listen.
It's not here.
Wait a minute.
You're not going to convince
Leroy,
him.
no, maybe I will. Leroy, listen to this. Listen.
Okay, I'm listening.
After this season, it's only one person. It's 2 people on this current roster that's still going to be at quarterback next year. Deshaun Watson, DTR.
Right.
You need to get this man surrendered. It's not like you act like DTR was a bum the last time he was in there. He actually looked really good before he got hurt.
Here's what I'm saying. Based on what I just saw, Joe Flacco will be the backup. If he want to be.
We'll see.
It
depends on his price.
Like
check
that.
this out. Do you see how comfortable Kevin Stefanski is calling plays?
Yes.
And he ain't got to worry about RPOs?
Yeah, because it's his style of offense that he always want to run.
Okay. So that being said, you know he gonna always have Old Faithful in his back pocket. That's Joe Flacco, old pocket passer with a rifle.
You Sam Darnold back in here.
He the old Joe Flacco with a golden retriever.
Hey, Leroy, last thing. I'm curious, as someone who played for Bill Belichick, obviously his great time in New England's coming to an end. It seems like they're going to part ways with his worst season ever. Do you expect him to have one more ride, like go to the Chargers or somebody else, or you think he's done?
I'm going to tell y'all right now.
Okay.
There's 2 guys that have a chance to be the Chargers head coach. One
Jim Harbaugh
is Bill Belichick. You know who the other one is?
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh. Don't fool yourself. Them, like, you can talk about all them new guys and all them other guys. Here's the problem with either one or both of them, they got enough cachet, they can come in there and make some demands that you might not want to put up with. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're going to make some demands that you might not, and that's the only reason why they might not be the coach. You got a quarterback, you got a defense who should be a lot better than they are, right? That is Bill Belichick's playpen. Mm-hmm. Defense with some pass rushers, come on.
Yeah, and you got a great quarterback.
And you got a quarterback. All right. I mean,
a good quarterback. Good quarterback.
Okay. You got a quarterback that you can win with.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Like, we don't know how good he is because of his coach.
Yep.
That guy, ever since he lost when was it the Raiders tried to help him get in the playoffs and they blew it?
Yep.
It's been downhill since then.
Yeah, it certainly had. And they blew like a 4-touchdown lead in the playoffs last year.
Was it to Jacksonville?
Yeah,
Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville.
Yeah, to Jacksonville. So they look like two teams that are very similar, right? So, but here's the deal: that defense should not be that bad.
No,
I
right.
agree with
way.
that. I agree with that.
No way. I'm not even a defensive person, but I see the talent on that defense. There's no way in hell they should be that bad.
Just Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack alone, they should.
And Khalil Mack's third league in
Derwin
James, yeah, good player.
Right. So,
no doubt.
So yeah, that's odd to me. And look, we all knew a long time ago Staley was dead man walking, right? Because we all said, how you have that much talent on the offensive side of the ball, that much talent on the defensive side of the ball, and you getting blown out? Something ain't right.
That's right. Leroy, good stuff as always, man. Happy holiday. We'll see you next week.
Happy holidays. Bush, I'm still waiting on that black sweatsuit for my Christmas present.
Yeah, listen, I owe him too. He was supposed to get a golf shirt too, so I ain't forgot. We ain't forgot. We got it. No. Mm-mm.
Get your inventory right, brother. What we doing? It's 60 degrees. It's 60 degrees down here, and I said, you know what? That G. Bush sweatsuit would be real nice right now. That'd be real nice
for my listen, he gonna hey, listen, honey, if you're listening, get the rush order on that. Get the listen, the VIP wants his, it'll flex, get the rush order ready. Get that down there.
Y'all have a good holiday. Hey, Tyvis. Y'all enjoy that I don't give a damn bowl.
Oh my God. You're right. That Missouri boy.
Oh man.
Oh, that's a horrible joint.
Wow.
Hey, it is what it is. You can't say nothing. Nothing. Zip it.
It's one of the worst bowls I've ever seen. They play
Leroy.
Hey,
wait,
hold on. I turned on the TV the other night. They had a toast bowl with a dude and a big ass piece of toast.
These bowls are terrible.
Man.
On Christmas or New Year's.
Yesterday, Sean Merriman killing Tyvis going out. Today it's Leroy.
They played a bowl on Thanksgiving.
Everybody want to get at me.
Everybody taking on Tyvis.
I don't know why
all the people you see on the way up are the same people you see on the way down, baby.
I don't know why that's so funny.
Thanks, Leroy. Oh, man. See, you too, man. Man.
I don't know why it's so funny. Because it is one of the worst bowls. Like, they should have declined.
The Cotton Bowl.
They should have declined it, bull. They're playing Missouri. Like, they should, like, OU was playing some Georgia Southern. I would have declined to go to it. I'm not going to that bowl if I'm
How many starters are going to play?
None.
No, actually, there's a bunch of starters at OSU that's going to play.
Henderson going to play?
Are you going to watch the game?
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Henderson going to play?
Yeah, I think he said he was.
He coming back next year?
The only person I think that hasn't said they was playing is JT and Marvin.
But they already lost Fleming.
Yeah, so.
Dang, Julian Fleming, you was that guy a couple years ago. Your name was up ringing out there.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Number one highest recruited receiver in Ohio State history.
Damn. And he's not even one of their top 5 receivers in the last 3 years.
He battled injuries.
By the way, do you guys agree with Leroy that every offensive lineman is better in run than pass?
No,
I get what he's saying.
Well, DeJuan Jones isn't.
No.
Right. In theory, it should be easier to run block than pass block, but some guys' skills are different.
But I would argue when Leroy played, it was mandatory. You put your hand in the dirt.
True.
Nowadays, guys is in 2-point stands trying to block people. Like, think about it. It's not like they used to talk about it with Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer used to run the spread so well, and the quarterback was so essential to the spread. Some would argue that when it came time to get in the yard and you snapping the ball 5 yards back to a running back, handing it to him to go 6 yards to get 1 yard, people start being like, is that smart, right? I don't necessarily believe that. And another thing, Joe Thomas, we would say, if you ask Joe, are you a better pass blocker or run blocker? Now, he's a Hall of Famer, so that means by default he's good at both.
Yeah.
But Joe Thomas would probably tell you, pass blocker.
Yeah.
He don't give up sacks or pressures.
Yeah, the game is so different than when Leroy played, especially when he was playing in college in the 80s. So, the game was so different now, especially even more so in college. You're throwing the ball all over the place.
I tell you what, if I was an offensive lineman, I'd rather run block than pass block for sure. Because you got to think about, it's just so many. A guy like Myles Garrett, you telling me you want me to retreat and try to stop this man? No, I'd rather just go at it.
Yeah, but Myles Garrett, there's not a lot of. Myles Garrett's like 1 out of 5. You know what I mean?
It's like 7 prolific pass rushers.
I know that, but
I'd rather run at them than them just coming and getting on me.
But you're not facing Myles Garrett every week. You're facing different and that's just one player. And the bottom line is, it seems to me, and I think it seems to you also, because you've been saying it, that the Browns have a bunch of offensive linemen that are better at pass blocking. I think Wyatt Teller's probably about equal, or maybe even a better one. But the rest of these guys are better pass blockers.
And you can give them help with tight ends or running backs. Like, Kareem Hunt is a decent guy picking up blitzes. David Njoku is really good at chipping and going out. I just think, from what I saw, just watching it, when all 22 came out, they can't run the ball like that.
The Browns' tackles in particular are undersized now.
Yes.
I mean, they don't have huge tackles.
Hudson is 290?
Yeah, I mean, and Christian doesn't look that. I mean, I don't know what he weighs, but he doesn't look that big. And so
James Hudson is a former defensive lineman. And Christian, it's just when you throwing the ball, you can say get it out quickly. All you got to do is not get beat off the stack.
Christian is 6'5", 315.
Yeah, okay. I didn't think he was that big. I'm lost on that one.
James Hudson is 6'5", 313.
Really?
By the way, I weigh more than both of them.
Me too. Unfortunately.
I'm going to just keep it real.
But that's not that big for a tackle, the weight.
No.
6'5"? No, 6'5", but 313 is not that big for a tackle.
No. Usually about 330.
DeJuan Jones is like
400.
That's it. Now you comparing apples to oranges.
But even Jed Wills, how big was Jed Wills? He's 330.
No. I think Batonio is bigger than the tackles.
Yeah, Batonio is, no doubt.
Jed Wills.
I mean, DeJuan's like 400 pounds. I don't want to hear this 370.
Yeah. That man, listen, come on.
That's huge. He's like 7 foot tall.
Hey, he came out of the surgery 5 pounds heavier. He ain't working. He ain't running, doing nothing. He been here just being big.
Jed Wills is 6'4", 307.
What?
In the defensive line, they always tell us.
Who else you want to know?
Wow.
Batonio. He bigger than all of them.
Let's see.
Batonio's probably like 340, no?
But Batonio got that big barrel stomach.
Yeah, he got the
big barrel chest. He look like
Batonio
a strong man.
is 6'4", 320.
Those weights are all baloney.
That's light.
Get out of here.
He's 333.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Batonio.
When you see the world's strongest man competition, they look a little like Batonio.
Shout out to Magnus Magnuson.
I used to love watching that stuff, man.
Fenric.
They do some crazy. They're pulling trucks.
Oh man, listen.
They pick up those balls.
Oh no! Yeah, you say that.
Yeah.
Magnus Magnuson, 35 stone. Incredible.
By the way, G, now would be a great time to advise the fans to please hit that like button.
Yes, man. It's a great time. It's almost 12 o'clock. So we will do a moment of silence for all of you out there to hit that like button on the UCSS YouTube channel. That was like 7 or 8 seconds. But we gave you some extra seconds to get in and hit that like button.
And I just want to let everybody know this moment of silence is brought to you by the people at the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, and become a member, man, to Overtime, man. You get some cool videos, some badges, the whole nine. Me and Ant got more badges that need to be unlocked. So
there you go.
Yeah, you're right.
We need join. Please become a member. It's very the coaches tier is, I believe, it's $4.99 a month. You're getting hours of extra content for a total of about $59 and change over a year. I mean, that's there you go. There we put that up there. All the we do a overtime segment 4 days a week usually. That's at least 10 minutes. Sometimes it's 15 minutes. Occasionally we've gone 20. You're talking about at least an extra 40 minutes of content per week, minimum. And we sometimes go more, and it's just $4.99 a month. If you can afford it, please do so. Earl's been gifting memberships recently. He's living the high life right now.
He must have got another stimulus check.
Yeah, I guess so. Uncle Joe's doing well for.
They only gave him to the Catherine Cedar.
and I got to say thanks, Uncle Joe, for wiping out my student loan finally. My student loan gone, thanks to Uncle Joe.
Man, listen.
I wish he'd do my wife.
Man, listen.
You got to apply for it.
Listen.
I ain't got no
Tell her to
loans.
do it. Dude, tell her to do it.
They told me they said it was random based on certain criteria, and they keep sending me my bills. So yeah, G. Bush.
Did you applied for it?
Yeah, they told me I wasn't eligible.
Doesn't make any sense. Why would you not be eligible?
Not eligible.
because you went viral and they think you got viral money. So
you got viral money?
It's probably my wife. She's listen. Hey, you need to start writing tax stuff off, babe. You doing too much out here. You getting me drugged down. We paying all that. Come on.
What's up with that?
Or giving me a dependent. Like, when you single and both people got jobs, they don't let you get nothing off.
I guess not. My wife doesn't have a job, and I got a kid. So.
Yeah, you getting you all the way underneath the tax.
That's right. There you go. So anyway, all right. So please hit the thumbs up, hit the like, subscribe, become a member if you can. We hit 35,100 subscribers yesterday.
Hey.
That's amazing for a show that just started a year and a half ago. We are so appreciative to all the fans. Go ahead, Earl.
All right, man, we're going to get into the defense, talk about Myles Garrett. But first, as the weather is getting colder, the NFL offers are getting hotter on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is easy to use, and there's a wide range of betting options that include spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/UCSS and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. Now, boy, we got some audio here. I'm going to let Ant get that together, but I'm going to set this up for you. 2 days ago, Kevin Stefanski spoke to the media, and he said that Myles Garrett was the best defensive player playing on the league's best defense, and despite him not having a sack in the last 4 games, that he was front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. So,
now, before you play that, I just went to the FanDuel Sportsbook for the latest numbers, and Myles Garrett is the second choice on FanDuel to win MVP. Now, it's very close.
Michael Parsons.
Defensive MVP. Micah Parsons is a slight favorite at plus 125. Myles Garrett, the second choice at plus 140. That's very close. And then it's a fairly decent drop to T.J. Watt, who's third at plus 430, and then a huge drop to Daniil Hunter, and then Josh Allen, and then Deron Bland, who are plus 2,500 or more. So Myles Garrett right now is the second choice, but it's kind of 1A, 1B. You got Stefanski's clip?
Yeah, let's check this out. Hit it, Steve.
Be denied, gets the guy on the ground. And I think what happens with our game, we get so wrapped up in sacks. He makes a play on a crack toss late in the game that loses 6 yards. And if it's a sack, people think it adds to the statistics or whatever. He's dominant as a defensive player. So he's the defensive player of the year. I don't think it's close. and he's going to finish strong for this football team. But to get so wrapped up as we do as a football society when it comes to sacks, I mean, just talk about the guy that affects the game, that pressures the quarterback, that plays the run, that plays with unbelievable effort. I don't know that there's anybody in the same realm as him. Won't be denied, gets the guy on the ground. And I think what happens with our game, we get so wrapped up in sacks. We heard there.
So what say you guys? Do you agree with Kevin Stefanski that nobody's even close? Facts. Do you think it's close, but he's going to win?
Facts.
Or do you think he's not going to win? What of the three do you have?
This is facts. I've said this before, and y'all got to make y'all mind up. I don't count myself as no journalist. I count myself as an ex-football player that rolled over and got lucky and started talking about sports. When you look at it, y'all got to make y'all mind up. If you're going to consistently give these MVPs and awards to people based on your cliches, then you can't come back and change it up and say it's about numbers. Because you say it all the time. You make the point. Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time because of why? He's the best player on the most dominant team. We give quarterback. He's the best. We give Heisman trophies away. He's the best player on the best team in the NFL or in college football or wherever the case we want to be. So now you got Myles Garrett, who by far the Cleveland Browns are the best defensive team in the league. They used to say it was the Eagles. They used to say it's the 49ers. Guess what? They're not. It's the Browns. We see it. He's the best player. He flipped his car, still played. He tore up his shoulder, still played. Playing at a high level. He's been dominant in terms of whether or not you get double team the most and triple team. That's a fact. His pressure rate is the most. His dominance and being in the backfield around the plays, it just is what it is. He gets a 90 plus on PFF. He can affect the game even if nobody touches him. Because your game plan is do not let Myles Garrett kill our game plan. It's not even debatable. I just watched Micah Parsons get dusted off.
Travis, what say you?
Why you? What's the hand thing? I mean, when you look at first of all, we slightly biased because of where we are.
Yeah. Nope, we're not slightly biased.
Oh, yes, we are.
No, we're not. Here's how you know. We're not biased. If you said take one defensive player right now, who's first pick?
In the NFL? Who am I
right now. We all know it. And that's why everybody's silent. We know who's getting picked first. If you say who has the most trade value on the Browns, who got the most trade value? You get 2.5, three number ones for Myles Garrett.
Well,
no, you wouldn't get 3.
Listen, you get 2.5.
What you said? Hold on, wait a minute. What you said? The first statement. The first statement is a toss-up.
Right now, they're taking Myles Garrett.
It's a toss-up.
No, you don't believe that.
Michael Parsons is younger.
But you still don't believe that.
Heck, if you want to take it, Daniel Hunter got better stats.
No, for Daniel Hunter is a stiff.
Nick Bosa?
Nick Bosa,
get him out of here.
TJ Watt?
Does not have the ability that Myles Garrett has. Myles Garrett is
TJ Watt?
Hey, listen, TJ Watt is not better than Myles Garrett. You heard me. He's not.
I'm not saying he is. I'm saying that it's the first pick is like, it's a toss-up.
I think personally, I think Stefanski's wrong that it's not close. I think that's wrong.
Yeah, well, is the Steelers' defense close to the Browns?
No, but the Niners' defense is as good, if not better. And they got Nick Bosa. Well, I mean, what are we basing it on?
Well, Nick Bosa won it last year for the same reasons that Myles should win it this year.
I'll be seeing the Browns. I see other teams get points off the Browns by picks. The Browns gave up 3 points last week. 3 whole points.
They also went to Indianapolis and gave up like 30.
Yeah, and that was against not a good offensive team.
Is it 18 weeks? Is it 18 weeks?
I mean, Baltimore put 30 up.
That's the best team in the league, right?
Oh, that's what we doing.
They're the best team in the league, right? I'm just saying. I'm going to just keep it real. His numbers is there. You automatically, when you go look at any other platform and you start talking about defense, the Browns defense is the only defense right now keeping that corpse of an offense in the game. Everybody else got their starting quarterbacks.
What about the Rams game?
Listen, what do you mean what about the Rams game?
They put up 36.
Hey, we're not saying Myles Garrett is Superman. You can give up points. You want him to get 2? You want 3 every game?
Well, you reeling it back a little bit.
No, I ain't reeling it back. Myles Garrett is the best defensive player. Go ask people. Go ask the general managers. And by the way, There is nobody. The stats prove it. There is nobody who gets double teamed more, who gets triple teamed more, who gets held more, but he still makes an impact.
Listen,
I didn't
go
even.
ahead,
I'm about to say,
yeah.
He rudely cut me off. I didn't even.
I'm close. I'm being Adam Bull right now. Somebody got to be Bull today.
I said one thing.
I had to do it like that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I done forgot what I said.
Yeah.
But you didn't even. You took it and went left with it.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say was, due to the fact that the one part that I agree with is he's the best player on the best defense. Nick Bosa won it last year for being the exact same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I would give it to him for that reason. You know, yes, he is a guy that deals with triple teams and double teams all games, and yet he still plays a factor. Teams still have to figure out how to game plan against this man and go against him. And no, he's not recording a sack in the past 3 weeks. Ever since he had the shoulder injury, he hasn't recorded a sack. But if you turn the tape on, that man is getting blatantly held almost every time he's in the backfield. Mm-hmm. So you could argue that it would be a sack. So therefore, with that being
Well, you don't think some of these other guys are
they
getting
are,
too?
but that's ridiculous.
I mean,
that's ridiculous.
I thought this past week
that was the past 2 weeks has been ridiculous.
But I thought this past week he looked like himself again. I don't think the 2 weeks before that he did. Certainly the first game he played after the injury, he did not play well.
No.
Last week he was better. This week I thought he looked like himself
Same
again.
thing that happened last year after the car accident.
Right.
It took him like 2 or 3 weeks to get
I'll
back
say
to
this. If I had to vote, if I was voting today, I would vote Myles Garrett Player of the Year.
Too.
I definitely think it's close. I don't agree that it's not close, but I would ultimately give him my vote right now. We still have a couple of weeks to see what happens. He doesn't have the best statistics in terms of sacks, of course. Actually T.J. Watt's got the most now at 16, but I'm not voting for T.J. Watt because I do think how good that defense is and the players around you matter. I think ultimately. I don't even think T.J. Watt's top 3 for me. I think the top 3 is Myles Garrett. I think Nick Bosa's number 2 because I think the Niners defense is – I don't know – how do we determine who's got the best defense? Like if you look at points per game allowed, I don't know that that's a good stat. It's actually the Ravens are the best, followed by the Niners. The Browns are like 7th. But if you look at yards allowed, the Browns are number 1. If you look at some efficiency numbers, you look at first downs allowed, I think the Browns – the Ravens and the Niners, in terms of their total defense, are very close. I don't know that one is clearly better than the other. If the Browns were completely healthy, I think they'd be 1. But, injuries are part of the game.
Where
they
are
happen.
they total defense now?
In terms of yardage, they're 1. But in terms of points allowed, they're 7.
So there's points.
Now, again, I agree with G that a lot of that is because of their offense.
Yeah.
But I think Nick Bosa should be in the conversation. I don't think T.J. Watt's in the conversation for me. I think
I haven't really.
I think the third guy in the conversation is Michael Parsons.
Yeah,
I think those are the 3. But ultimately, I would
really don't like Daniil Hunter.
Oh man, he's
his stats is crazy this season.
Daniil Hunter is like he's the upgraded version of Cameron Wembley. He's the highest version of Wembley.
And the thing that knocks Micah Parsons down.
His numbers is crazy. That's all I said.
The thing that knocks Micah Parsons down is he's not as good against the run.
You're right.
Myles Garrett's been the big difference this year for Myles Garrett that's taken him from like a 9.9 to a 10. Is that he's been better against the run this year.
And Stefanski just pointed that out.
Yeah.
T.J. Watt second in sacks this season? I mean, first in sacks right now?
But you proving his point, though. You proving what Stefanski's saying. Stefanski's saying
I think it's
we are enamored with sacks, right?
You think about that. How many plays does a defensive player play in a year?
Thousands.
Okay. The sacks.
Hundreds,
what about
you're talking about 16 plays.
Yeah, 16 plays.
Right.
What about TFLs? What you feel about a TFL?
That's you supposed to
So Daniil Hunter's number 1 and he's second in sacks.
So how many Daniil Hunter got?
He got 21 TFLs.
Okay. And how many sacks he got?
15 and a half.
I think Myles Garrett leads the league.
and he forced 4 fumbles.
So is Myles Garrett.
So did Myles Garrett.
So is Myles Garrett.
And Myles
So
Garrett.
that's why statistically wise,
But
he's
guys,
really running away with this thing.
I think Kevin Stefanski is 100% correct when he talks about people overrate sacks.
Right.
Because that's such a small percentage of the plays.
You just gave me something, bull. Let me give you this, Tyvis. This is great. This is shout out. You just unknowingly gave me an assist, Tyvis. Let me ask you a question. I like to compare defensive line and cornerbacks. Now, one day I came in and we was talking, and we got to talking about Trayvon Diggs. Mm-hmm. Now, Trayvon Diggs 1 year had 10 picks. Mm-hmm. But you told me, as a novice corner guy, you said just because you got all them picks does not mean you're the best corner.
That's right. You have said that.
Now, you could take a lot of gambles, right? And you could just jump routes.
Yes.
But you can also be out of phase and get punched on and get dunked on.
Happens a lot. Same thing's happening with the other guy that's playing at Dallas, Bland.
They just
Is he better than Martin Emerson or Denzel Ward? I don't think so.
I
would take his production on the season over.
But when you say production, you're talking about 10 plays.
You're talking about the pick. But
that man broke the record for pick sixes in his season. What are we talking about? Don't do that.
That doesn't make him a better player, though.
I said I would take his production this season.
You see, it's in the devils and the deeds. You semantics.
At the end of the day, it's about his production.
So here's the thing. But the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Listen, you can get 10 picks, but you can also get 12 pass interference calls that spot fouls, right? You could also be out of position. You could be in zone and you may not be reading the same thing.
Okay.
Let me translate to Myles Garrett. When you're a defensive lineman, you can get sacks. What if I just say, I ain't playing no run? I ain't delivering hands on nobody. I'm running upfield. And
that's what J.J. Watt used to do.
And guess what? They go right up underneath him. They don't count those plays as minuses. But those are minuses because you're giving up running lanes. You're not playing the run. And by the way, T.J. Watt, if y'all gonna tell me,
but I don't understand
if he's an outside linebacker, why don't we hold him accountable for not covering nobody?
My part is that I don't understand is what does this have to do with Danielle Hunter?
Here's the thing: Danielle Hunter can have all the numbers in the world. Yeah. All the numbers in the world, but numbers don't equate impact.
But I mean, the problem with me is people look at sacks as if they're the end all be all.
That's it.
They're a part of the puzzle.
He got 21 TFLs.
But think about that, Tyvis. He's playing 1,000 plays. That's only 21 plays. So you're going to judge an award based on 21 of his 1,000 plays. I'm saying you got to look at the whole 1,000. And if you know better.
I don't know. I don't look at PFF.
You're right.
And I don't watch Danielle Hunter, so I can't really tell you.
But that's
why I said this is not a good argument for us because the only person we watch every single game is Myles Garrett.
Right. But isn't it fair to say that it would be hard to believe that there would be any defensive player if you watched him play in and play out that would be as impressive on tape as Myles Garrett?
Do y'all got the PFF tools back there?
They're number one. I already looked at it.
They're dead to me.
So he's number one. Myles Garrett is number one.
Who's two?
I had it right up here.
So now, we can't keep coming on this show and saying that PFF is dead to us.
That's Jay.
I said it too. And then go run back to PFF to get a grade.
All right, go ahead.
PFF is in hospice.
I have not said it. Here's the top 5 defensive ends.
Okay.
All right, and I don't think I don't think Bosa. No, Bosa is listed. Wait. Watt is listed. Number 1, Myles Garrett.
What's the grade?
93.5.
Okay.
Number 2, Nick Bosa. 93.2. Number 3, Micah Parsons. 92.4. Number 4 guy we never talk about, Max Crosby. 92.
Max Crosby.
Now he's on a bad team.
He's nice. He's nice.
Tied for 5th, Khalil Mack and TJ Watt at 91.1.
All good
Real
players.
Quick, Bull.
Yeah.
For honorable mention, since we're talking about Danielle Hunter, he's 31st, 76.6.
Why is he 31st? Oh, here's why he's 31st. Because his run defensive grade is ass. It's 47.9.
These cheeks up front. Mr. Cheeks.
Now, if you look at Myles Garrett, pass rush grade, number 1, 94.4. Micah Parsons 2.
Who's number 1?
Myles Garrett is number 1 pass rush grade, 94.4. Micah Parsons 2, Nick Bosa 3, T.J. Watt 4, and Aiden Hutchinson 5. If you look at run defense, Myles Garrett's lower. Myles Garrett is like 15th run defense.
Okay.
DeMarcus Lawrence 1, Max Crosby 2, Khalil Mack 3, Anthony Jennings of the Patriots 4, and Nick Bosa 5.
So Max Crosby on
and Nick Bosa.
And Max Crosby and Nick Bosa,
yeah,
they kind of up there.
Yeah.
Like, because they top 5 in overall top 5 in pass rush. Yeah. That's one of. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Their teams they're not good. Their teams ain't good defensively.
Well, the Niners are.
No. I'm talking about Las Vegas.
They're not good.
To me, I would. In the end, I'm voting for Myles Garrett.
We all are.
I think probably Nick Bosa deserves to be 2. Ahead of TJ Watt. Ahead of
according to FanDuel.
Michael Parsons was a slight favorite over Myles.
Who was third?
Third was T.J. Watt, and then there was a big drop to everybody else.
So let's be clear. That's just what we said.
Did Nick Bosa get hurt or something?
He's played all the games, I think.
I don't know. I don't remember.
To be clear, Myles Garrett is going to have to still make some plays.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He can't
definitely.
He can't go.
I mean, listen, Myles Garrett come out there and have one of them 3-sack games, and they can go ahead and ship him this trophy because it's over.
I mean, you're playing some bad offenses.
True.
That's 2 weeks. Well, I shouldn't say Texas offense is bad.
He would have it. He getting hit.
I'll throw this out to you. I think if he wouldn't have got injured with his shoulder.
We wouldn't even be this one.
I thought this might have been the year that you could find a defensive player to win MVP. That's not going to happen. But
he would have had to do the J.J. Watt and catch the touchdown.
If you think about it, they don't. It seemed like they don't even really want to vote for Brock Purdy. They okay, we'll vote for him.
Yeah. Let me see what the latest MVP. Nick Bosa has played every game this year.
What's crazy is CMC about to break Jerry Rice's single season record for touchdowns.
How many touchdowns he got?
20.
And it's 3 games. All
right, so does Raheem Mostert.
Here's the MVP as of now. Right now, Brock Purdy is a huge favorite. He's minus 200.
Oh, Jay is somewhere like.
Oh, I know. Even though he's not, there's no way he's better than Josh Allen. No. Lamar Jackson is second at plus 500. Josh Allen is third at plus 800. Dak Prescott has dropped from first to fourth.
He should have won.
At plus 900. McCaffrey is fifth at plus 1,200.
Who you say was second?
Lamar, plus 500.
Lamar go out here and win this game.
I think
if he beats San Fran, I think he's going to win it.
Whoever plays better and wins that game is going to be the overwhelming favorite for MVP. Yeah. If the Ravens beat the Niners, and we don't want that to happen, we want, obviously, the Niners to win. But if the Ravens beat the Niners and Lamar plays a great game, I think he's almost got the MVP lock. Same thing with Purdy. Purdy plays great in this game, and they win. It's over.
I need a knockdown, drag down, back alley fight.
Let them both get hurt?
Listen, I didn't say that. I just said,
I'm kidding.
Hey, man, shout out to y'all. Just need a tough battle.
Yeah.
Man.
On that list that you're looking at, who's the first defensive player on that list of the MVP odds? I
don't even think there are defensive players.
I'm just curious on who would be first. Like, who would be first? Like, if they had the top
There's nobody even list. Micah Parsons is plus. So you got. So that's. I gave you the top 5. McCaffrey was 5th. Tua is 6th plus 2,000. Tua and Mahomes tied for 6th plus 2,000. Tyreek Hill is 8th plus 2,500. Jalen Hurts is 9th at plus 3,000. Then there's a huge drop. 10th is Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff at plus 15,000. Matthew Stafford, C.J. Stroud, and Micah Parsons are tied for 12th at plus 20,000.
Yeah, it's clearly an offensive award. If C.J. Stroud,
it's not an offensive award; it's a quarterback award.
It's a quarterback's award. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, the quarterback makes the biggest impact on most games. That's just the reality of the situation, you know?
Yeah, it's hard. Even when you play video games, it's hard. Like if you're trying to get a guy numbers and it's a receiver, it's hard to differentiate between who's really getting it done, the quarterback who's throwing the ball to him or the receiver, especially if you got 1,800 yards, 1,900. Then you would assume the quarterback at least has almost 5,000 yards because that's just throwing to you. What if you like that? So it's kind of hard to prove your worth as a receiver.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill's having this monster season. Tua's throwing the ball, and he's throwing to Jalen Waddle, and he's throwing to,
Yeah, so it's tough.
Tyreek lost his MVP thing when he sat out, and the fact that they won so well without him.
That's true. They killed the Jets without him.
Destroyed them.
Yeah. All right, Earl, what you got for us?
All right, man, that was a great conversation. Me and Anthony was just sitting back here chopping it up. But before we get to Cecil, I wanted to talk a little bit about Ronnie Hickman and DeAnthony Bell. But first, As weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is easy to use, and there's a wide range of betting options that include spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/UCSS and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. So when I put this together last night, you know, the Browns defense played great at home. They've been playing much better over the last couple weeks. We know all the injuries that we're dealing with, especially in the secondary. But two undrafted guys, DeAnthony Bell, Ronnie Hickman, go Bucks, have stepped up, man, and it don't seem like it's been any drop-off. So, Tyvus, go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, well, Ronnie Hickman, I mean, I don't know why he went undrafted. I thought he was a very productive guy when he was at Ohio State. And, you know, when he comes here and he's playing that post, you know, he's doing a really good job of reading the field. I mean, we seen it in the preseason. He was able to make some picks in the preseason. He made some plays on the ball. So his middle of the field presence, I don't know if Juan Thornhill or Jim Schwartz has really simplified it for him, but his middle of the field presence has been really good. He even came up on this last week and made some plays on the ball. So he got just a good feel for the game. DeAnthony Bell, now listen, DeAnthony Bell is a guy that he's playing this run game really, really well. Yeah. Like, for them not to have Dale Pitt, I didn't even notice Dale Pitt wasn't out there because DeAnthony Bell came up and he set the edge and made some tackles on running backs. Mm-hmm. I was like, this dude is for real. The only concern is I need to see how he does in the pass game because I don't know when Cole Kmet caught the touchdown, I don't know what they were in, and I don't know who gave up the touchdown. I got to go back and watch the play. But if they were in man and that was his man, he's got to do a better job with that. And he's got the big boy job this week because they got another decent tight end in Dalton Schultz, which, like I said, I don't think he's that great, but they're going to get solid. Yeah, they're going to get the ball to him because he's one of their top playmakers. So I think DeAnthony Bell's going to have a good game in coverage this week because if Nico Collins doesn't play and they don't have Tank Dell, Noah Brown and Dalton Schultz is the only two guys that you can really depend on. So we know the corners is going to take care of Noah Brown. Safety's got to take care of the tight end.
What say you on these guys?
Man, you know.
You liked Ronnie Hickman. I'll give you credit. You were talking about Ronnie Hickman in preseason.
Yeah,
in training camp.
I said, man, this kid, I like his nose for the football. He got them instincts. Like, and no disrespect to Juan Thornhill, but if you said who's one guy that you would classify as a disappointment, he's not really a disappointment like he's John Johnson. But
no, that's J3.
No, you gave him his name back. He's got to pick against us. I took his name away.
I
never took it. Well, for some odd reason, he got crowned as my boy.
Yeah, that's your man.
I don't understand it.
It's your man, dog. I don't understand that. I see y'all be going out to the chicken place getting wings together and stuff. I'll be seeing y'all.
Your boy.
Yeah, your man's. Juan Thornhill, he been injured a little bit, but Tyvus, I can't get over it. Like, there was one play, we were playing the Rams, and they're in cover 6. He's the safety, and he lets him run a corner route. I don't understand. You're supposed to be there.
What do you mean? Wait, is he to the half side or to the quarter side?
Man, he over to the half. Like,
that's the corner got to sink.
But the corner carried him, right?
So they shouldn't even throw the ball. If he carried him like he was supposed to, it should have been a non-play.
But he was supposed to be over the top. And I'm like, that's your guy, Jonathan.
To a certain extent.
Come on, Jonathan.
To a certain extent. If they run a corner route, the corner has to high-low it. He has to play everything deep to short. Right, so it should have been a check down to the flats. So like the drive starter in this last game where the Bears hit that corner out, Denzel decided to jump the flats.
So if the flat, so here's the thing. So if the flat is there, so they run a flat route, right?
Yeah, you let it go.
And so
that's what you giving up on the play.
So you telling me the corner should have been back there, right?
Yeah. So if they run a 7 cut and we in cover 2 to that side, you have to make them put air on the ball, and the safety should be able to make a play on it.
Say for instance, I think it was to the short side of the field.
It don't matter.
So you telling me there's no other threat? So Juan Thornhill's responsibility was what?
He got to be over the top of that.
So he was over the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm looking at it, I'm like, bro, you right there. You deep as drive on that, bro.
Guys, more on this later because we got our guest. Cecil Shorts is with us. Cleveland's own, former NFL player, former Mount Union Purple Raider. And there he is. Cecil, how are you, man? Thanks for joining us.
I'm great, fellas, man. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
You got any good Earl stories? Give us a good Earl story.
You in a conflict of interest
right
now.
Yeah,
ain't you?
listen.
Yeah,
You
it's
got
true.
the Texas hat on, but the Cleveland shirt. Listen, you gotta pick a side. This ain't no
This
Switzerland.
is exactly why he's
This is
labeled
no
the
Switzerland.
hometown villain.
This is the. I know you run routes. This is a true high-low.
Man.
You're putting us in conflict right
Listen,
here.
I know you got paid by Houston, but you was raised by Cleveland. Now you gotta pick a side.
You see, Cleveland is the city, right? You see it, but at the same time, you know, the Texans helping pay bills right now. So I gotta make sure.
I respect that.
Hey, I respect that. Say less. Say less.
We gotta make it work.
See, so you got a good Earl story you can share with us?
Nah, man, Earl clean cut dude, man. Like, you know, we went to Collinwood together. And I ain't got no real in-depth crazy stories. He just always been a good brother, man. No complaints. Love the dude to death, man.
Yeah.
He's just a good dude.
Supposedly he's the worst basketball player ever. Is that true?
He might be. Oh, that might be true. That
Wow. Like, does he dribble with two hands?
In PE class, it was I forgot what my dad called it.
Thought
My
you
dad
said
was
you
our
ain't had
PE
no
teacher.
stories.
It was my bad. It was it was Free Friday, right? You get to do what you want. You got to do is dress, and everybody, all the boys hoop, all the girls just walk in a circle.
Yeah.
And Earl just wasn't that dude when it came to hooping. He knew the game. He understood it. Big fan, can talk all day, but when it comes to actually hooping, that wasn't his forte.
You know, see, so I always appreciated you because when I was coming out of high school and you got drafted and was in the lockout, you opened up. You had like what did you have where people would just come to the field and play football? And I remember being in high school and I just came up there one day and played football with y'all. But why did you do that? What was going? Yeah, what was that about anyway?
You know what? So I used to watch these workouts on YouTube all the time, where Ocho Cinco, Santana Moss, all these Andre Johnson, they will all like come together and just work out together. And I would try to emulate that and just like, hey, you know, I was fortunate to be able to get drafted and had a small following. I'm like, hey, let's just come work out together. Like, let's just get better together. So I remember you coming down to Mount Union with your coach, and y'all would come and we'll just do releases and do footwork and stuff. It was fun, man. There's an opportunity that I thought was cool. Like, hey, I'm just a regular dude that ended up getting drafted and making it. Just trying to be inspiration for somebody else, and to see like, hey, it ain't far-fetched. You just got to put the work in. Like the magic that you are wanting is in the work that you're not putting in. Let's go put the work in and see what can come from it.
See, so speaking of which, you mentioned Mount Union there. I was stunned because, you know, I went to a Division III college that had a good football team, not Mount Union good, but a good football team. And our team makes the playoffs every so often. But Mount Union goes to the playoffs every year. I just penciled them into the Final Four every year. But they blew a big lead and lost in the second round. I was stunned by this. You had to be shocked.
I didn't even watch the game. I just assumed we'll kill whoever play in the second round, kind of moving on. Because we always usually get to third, fourth round, no matter what.
Yep.
It happens, man. It happens when you don't come ready to play, when you don't execute. Games aren't won on paper, right?
That's
you got to
right.
go out there and play it in real time. So we got upset, and that's how it goes. That's why I love D3 or D2 or D1 AA football, though, because you have to earn it on the field, right?
Love it.
You really got to
Love
play
it.
a playoff system and go out there and earn it each and every Saturday. So I can appreciate that. The better team won that day. Hey.
Cecil, I'm looking at the way that the NCAA is set up right now, and with the transfer portal. Now, if I go back and look at them teams with Mount Union, I don't know if Mount Union would have been that good because a lot of y'all dudes would have been in the transfer portal playing for bigger defensive Division I school. It never used to happen back then where it was a thing where if you went to a school that was lower, like even if it was a MAC school or a Division III school, you always wanted to prove yourself that you could play at that level. And now it seems like those players are getting that opportunity. I've seen guys go from MAC schools to Alabama, MAC schools to big time football. Yeah. If you were back then and there was an opportunity to do that, how do you think you would have done? Would you stayed at Mount Union, or would you have thought about going somewhere else to prove yourself?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I almost left. So if you know anything about Mount Union, they're known for their coaching. Like Nick Sirianni, the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. The head coach of Iowa State was a former Mount Union guy who actually coached me my true freshman year at Mount Union. Head coach at University of Toledo, Jason Candle, he's a Mount Union guy. I mean, if you just look, it's tons of Division I coaches that came from Mount Union right now all across the NCAA. Yeah. So when Jason Candle, he was my offensive coordinator, recruited me to Mount Union. When he left my redshirt sophomore year and went to Toledo to be the wide receiver coach and like the passing game coordinator, I'm like, yo, I'm about to go with you. Like,
I ain't about to too.
And the thing about it, then you had to sit out a year, and I'm like, I don't want to sit out a year. Like I'm already kind of on the hot streak. I got things rolling here. Let's just see where we can go from here. I didn't want to sit out a year. And I don't think I ever told Jason that personally. I think he kind of assumed when he called me that I might have been interested, but yeah, I was definitely thinking about leaving and heading to Toledo.
Oh yeah, so you be at LSU or something then right now. Like, if it happened again, you're like, I gotta go.
I don't know. I think it had to be the right, for me personally, it had to be the right fit. It got to be the right money, because that's what it's about now, right? you got to get paid where you're going to, and I got to go somewhere I'm going to play. So I need to find a place for me that I'm going to be able to play, show my talent, go out there and ball. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think the transfer portal is for Division III kids. I think a lot of people that go D3 belong in D3. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I think it's for the guys that get overlooked in the MAC. It's for the guys that get overlooked in those smaller Division Ones that can ball, that can play. They get a bigger opportunity somewhere else, right? I think the Toledo quarterback who balled out for Toledo this year just left and went to a big-time Division I school. I can't remember what school it was, but I just saw his Instagram. They put like a little post up. Yeah. But I think that's what the portal is good for. Guys that get overlooked, maybe develop later, maybe this took a longer for them, or this is under recruited or overlooked. Those guys get a cool opportunity to play somewhere else, and they get recruited in the portal. I think that's awesome. But for me, like Division III guys, even some Division II guys, those guys belong at that level. It's not many guys that can play at the elite level that some other guys are able to.
Yeah, the amount of Division III players that have played in the NFL is like very few.
And they all come from Mount Union. No, they seems like they all come from Mount Union.
There's not that many. My school had one guy that played in the NFL, an offensive lineman named Josh Warner.
What school you went to? What school you went to?
I went to Brockport.
Okay, I'm familiar. Yeah,
like we're okay. We've been good. We win 8 games, 9 games, and they went to the playoffs. They went to the Final Four a few years ago, and I think they lost. I don't remember who they lost to. I don't think it was Mount Union. I think they were in the other semifinal. But when I was there, we had a pretty good team. But we'd lose to Cortland, Cortland actually won the championship this year. Another Brockport and Cortland are both out of the State University of New York Conference. They've always been pretty. They actually got a really sweet facility for a Division III. They got they got a new facility like 15 years ago. It's really sweet. But anyway, I mean, I agree with you. And you know what? Everything happens for a reason, right? I mean, you went to Mount Union, you dominated, you were the best player in Division III, and you stood out, and then you took advantage of your opportunity, which was incredible. Because, I mean, to have the career you did coming from a Division III, first of all, there's barely any players that make it to the NFL from Division III, let alone have a quality career like you did. It's just, there's like 2 or 3 guys, maybe a few more than that, but not much.
Can I take it a step further?
Yeah, go ahead, Earl.
We went to Collinwood High School. And, when we have reminiscence talking, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but we all felt like if you went to Glenville, you was going D1 playing for Ohio State just like everybody else. So when you talk about guys that play D3 football that belong there, I got to believe that in your heart you didn't belong there, right?
That's tough for me to say. Because coming out of high school, I was 5'11", 155, that's soaking wet, 160. I do believe I could play at that level, yes. But I think I was just being honest, Earl, I think I was a late bloomer when it came to like your body, right? When you look at the Division I guys, and Tyvus, you know this, like being at Ohio State, those guys come in with the body type is different.
That's a fact.
Like those guys come in where like they are Division I, like those Division I guys are just completely different. Like they're 6'2", they're 6'3", they're built different. The linemen are different. And when you get to those higher levels, Ohio States, the Alabamas, to get recruited there and go there, there's a small margin of error. They're looking at the best of the best of the best in the country. So do I think I should have went D1 coming out of high school? Absolutely. No doubt about it. Do I think as my career went on at Mount Union, I could have made some plays and did some good things at a higher Division I level? No doubt about it. But coming out of high school, if I'm just being honest and fair, I think my stature was small and I would say even petite to be at a big time Division I school. Just looking at how recruiting is now, looking at just how they go about things when it comes to recruiting the big time players, right? If you were my size, you had to be running 4.3, 4.4 every single time. And that just wasn't me. I was fast enough, right? But I wasn't that 4.3, 4.2, 4.4 guy at that particular size. So I think being honest with myself, I became a really, really good player as I got older, as I matured, as I got in the weight room, as I understood what work ethic means. Doesn't mean I don't think I could have played Division I come out of high school. I truly believe that, especially as an athlete. Your mindset's different, right? It's just looking at what it takes and what type of guys they recruit at Ohio State, the type of guys they recruit at those type of schools. Those guys, they're different. They're different early.
See, so, when you look at, let's take you to the NFL. Houston Texans, now that Cole Rich isn't playing, well, reportedly not playing. And yeah, y'all, I'm at CJ. I'm at CJ. Cole Rich. Now that Cole Rich ain't playing. And Tank Dell is out and Nico Collins is questionable. Who do you look to? Do you have faith in Case Keenum? And can my boy Noah Browns, go Bucks, get it done?
You know what? Let me talk about CJ for a second, because it was like a stigma on Ohio State quarterbacks.
Oh yeah.
When they get in the league, they're not the same. Mm-hmm. When they get in the league, they can't produce. They can't do these things. Well, he put all that to bed. He is, when you look at him, I've never seen a rookie quarterback be able to go through his progressions in the pocket. I just never seen it before. And it might sound simple, it might sound minute, but to see him in the pocket, he's looking at his first read to his left. Nope, that ain't there. He's looking back middle. Nope, that ain't there. Look back third read. Oh, no, Brown's open. I'm going to hit him for a 15-yard in route. That's special. Like, you can't. Those are things that 6-7 year vets just start doing in those years. But he's doing it in year one as a rookie. And I don't think people understand how special that is. How special it is that he can go through his first read, second read. That's not there. Let me find my check down because I feel this rush coming, right? I don't think people understand how special he was playing when he was healthy. It was undescribably good. And you look at where the Texans were last year, because he was in MVP talks early in the year, and everybody like, no, he's not an MVP. He should be in MVP talks. Because you look at the Texans last year when they won 3 games and the struggles they had on the offensive side of the ball with almost the same exact playmakers. And then you look this year, what has changed? CJ's there, right? Of course, you bring in Tank Dell. Awesome, outstanding, Deshaun Jackson type player in Tank Dell. But CJ is the type of guy that makes everybody around him better. When you have Nico Collins, who has over 1,000 yards receiving this year, best year in his career in year 3. When you have a Tank Dell, a rookie that was on his way to 1,000 yards this year, making plays after plays after plays. When you have a Dalton Schultz who had a good career in Dallas, probably should have got paid a little more, got looked over in free agency because his last year in Dallas wasn't that good, but he's here making plays. When you got a guy like Noah Brown, who you brought up, making 150-yard games or having a 172-yard game back-to-back, it's because of C.J. Stroud. Yep. Like, he is the guy that's making everyone around him better. He's making the offensive line better because he's getting the ball out quick. Or people don't understand, he's sneaky athletic. Like, people think he's a pocket passer. He can get out the pocket. He can run. He can scramble. His moves inside the pocket are special. You know, I just realized I'm not answering your question. So I'm going to answer your question.
Yeah.
No, you was good.
But it's a great point. By the way, to your point, Cecil, Devin Singletary's having his best year too.
He's having his best year, right? Yeah. And it's because of how good CJ is.
Yep.
Now, credit to the offensive coordinator and Bobby Slowick. Credit to DeMeco Ryans doing a great job. They are doing a phenomenal job putting these guys in a situation to succeed, right? But when you look at, do I trust Case? Do I trust Noah Brown? Do I trust Dalton Schultz? Do I trust the third, fourth, and fifth options with a backup quarterback against this Browns defense? I'm worried. If I'm a Texans fan, if I'm a Houston Texans coach, I'm like, yo, we got to come up with the best strategy to succeed this week, because you got Myles Garrett, you got all these guys on the other side of the ball that will make this extremely tough. Now, last week they were able to beat Tennessee, but Tennessee is not in the same caliber as a team, not the same caliber as the Cleveland Browns right now. So you're asking me, do I feel comfortable with these? And I hate to put it this way, the backups playing against some starters in the NFL. I don't. I think there's some holes to be filled, and I think you might get overpowered when it comes to that Browns defense.
So what you're saying, Cecil, is it's in your mind, C.J. Stroud is at this point better than Deshaun Watson.
Oh, yeah,
Deshaun Watson today.
Yeah.
Absolutely, like that's not even a question. That's not even a question. And it's not a knock against Deshaun. It's how good CJ is playing. CJ is playing like a top 10 quarterback in the league. You can argue top 6, top 7. Just being honest with you, if you want to, you can argue top 5. Like, his numbers speak for itself. He's not turning the ball over. He's excellent inside the pocket. He's finding different guys open. He is not forcing the ball down the field. He's taking what's given to him. The numbers speak for itself as far as CJ. Now, let me get on Deshaun real quick. I think Deshaun is talented. I think his biggest downfall is right here in his head. I think that's his biggest battle right now. Because I watched the Colts game recently. I think that's the game he got the last game he played, I want to say maybe, that he got hurt in. I'm looking at that Colts game, and I'm like, he's forcing the ball. He's trying to do too much and trying to prove that he's worth $260 million. He's trying to prove that he's worth all this commotion, all these draft picks. Bro, you are good at what you do. Just play ball. Give him this. Throw to the open guy. That's all Flacco's doing. Throw into the open guy. That's all it is. You have one of the best running teams in the league. Now, I know it's late. You got some big time injuries on the offensive line, so it's been different. But early in the year, the Ravens game, he went 14-14 in the second half. The talent is there. They won the Ravens game mainly because of Deshaun Watson's play. If he played that like that consistently, there would be no discussion about how great he is and how good he can be. I watched him firsthand here with the Texans for 2, 3, 4 years, whatever it was. But he truly is. His battle is in his head. That's what it is, in my opinion. Because all the off-season, all the off-field stuff, him missing so much time, now him battling injuries, is him having to feel like he's trying to prove himself. And as an athlete, your worst enemy is inside of your 2 ears right here. So I think if he can calm that down, he'll be fine. But no doubt about it, CJ is better than Deshaun Watson right now, for sure.
Cecil, if Wikipedia is correct, you're about to celebrate your 36th birthday in 2 days. Is that correct or no?
Friday, baby. Friday coming, December 22nd. Absolutely.
Well, you got big plans for your birthday? Anything exciting?
You know what? The wife's going to treat me to some dinner. She's going to take me out with a few friends, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't do too much, man. I'm more on the chill side. I've never been the guy that goes crazy for birthdays, but I do appreciate my wife stepping out and making some things happen. Nice. So that'll be fun.
Joe Flacco is about to celebrate in a couple of weeks his 39th birthday. He was on the couch for 11 months at the age of 38. And obviously he hasn't been perfect. He's thrown some picks. But he's averaging 313 yards a game in the 3 games he's played. As you said, they were running the ball better earlier last few weeks because of the offensive line or whatever it is. They have not run the ball well at all. He has put the offense on his shoulders, and for the most part, he's gotten it done. How surprising, at nearly 39 years old, with 11 months on the couch, that he is playing as well as he is right now.
Players play ball, man. I don't think that's too surprising from Joe Flacco. Like, Joe has been a guy that, in my opinion, he understands how to win in December and January. He understands how to win in these moments. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He understands how important it is. And Joe is a true professional. Like, for him to come in, I think he had maybe 1 week to prep, and then he started, or maybe it was 2 weeks to prep, and then he was starting. Like, he's a guy that's been in the league so much. He's been a part of so many offensive schemes. He knows how to prepare. And if you're a guy in this day and age, you can be a quarterback that plays for a long time if you take care of yourself. So it's not surprising. I think he has some help in Amari Cooper and David Njoku. And Njoku is playing outside of his mind. My gosh. Yep. He's playing like a top 5 tight end in the league the last probably 8-9 weeks. He's been outstanding, no matter who the quarterback was, right? And I think a lot of this has to go. You got to give some credit to Stefanski. I think him having 4 quarterbacks this year and finding a way to still win 9 games, finding a way to still find production in those quarterbacks and win those games, it says a lot about the type of coach he is, type of leader he is, how he's able to get the best out of his guys. Andrew Berry, too, that's a great hire. That's a great signing for Joe Flacco. Yep. To have a vet come in that understands how to win in December, what these games matter, a guy that's going to prepare, a guy that has the capabilities to get the ball down the field and make the right reasons simply find the open guy. It's a credit to those guys, man. But I'm not surprised by Joe at all. I think you've seen it before. It's certain guys that they take care of their body and have that ability. They can go down, they can play a long time at that quarterback position.
See, so let's wrap it with this. You and Tyvis both come out of retirement for 10 plays each. You're going up head-to-head. He's covering you. 10 plays. Now, he's 10 years, or no, not 10. He's 7 years younger than you.
Oh.
Oh, who's winning those 10 reps? Is it 10-0? Is it 5-5? What's happening? What are we saying right now?
You know what? I actually have been a big fan of Tyvis since he left Bedford High School. Watched him in his career at Ohio State. Always been rooting for him on the sidelines. I had to be completely honest. I would give Tyvis the work I want all. It would probably be 7-3 my way. You know what I mean? I respect him. He's a long-armed guy. Played safety, but when you got to come down and play this corner, come to play corner, come to play the slot or inside. It's a little different. It's a little different.
Cecil, he's at Bandit.
He gave you 3. He gave you 3. He said it'd be 7-3. You would say 10-0.
You would have to play a Ringo position or a Bandit, bro, like a tween.
You know the sad thing is. The sad thing is, he truly believes that. That's the part that makes me laugh. He truly believes that he would beat me 7-3. Who's your quarterback? That's the question. That's ultimately a huge factor.
Cardell is somewhere around here. He's throwing him a ball.
So Cardell's your quarterback.
Perfect. Cardell's be perfect.
Cardell's your quarterback. I'm definitely winning 10-0. 1,000%. 10-0. 10-0. And it won't. And you know what? And I'm not talking 10 bad throws. I'm talking either it's going to end in a PBU or a pick. That's where I'm at with it. My hand is on the ball. All 10 reps. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. I put my pension on the line.
Oh, whoa! Pension on the line.
That's how good I think I would.
Hey, they both got 6 years of service now.
What y'all doing? Let's put this on a charity event. I'm gonna need about a year to train though. I'm completely out of shit.
No. I'm ready now.
I love this.
I just got off the Peloton last night.
I'm telling you, we got to do this in a charity event next summer. Next summer. Let's do it.
I'm gonna reach. I want to reach out to Destroying. Y'all follow Destroying on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna be Destroying and yeah.
Bring whoever you want to bring out. Like I said, 7-3. Balls on the 20-yard line. And we're going there. Best of 10.
Is Cardell going to be the quarterback, or should we get your quarterback from Mount Union? What's he doing?
It don't matter to me. Just put the ball in the air. Just give me something to catch it.
They don't even matter.
All right, we got to work this out. This should be really fun. I love this.
He's delusional.
Thanks, Cecil. We appreciate it. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Enjoy the day. Cecil
Appreciate
Short.
y'all, man. Thank you.
Hey man, he's
Cleveland's own.
always a good,
funny.
This has
always a
been
good interview. Always a good interview.
What is with this week? Like, why is it? What?
Oh, no,
Wait a minute. Have I not
Well, wait a second.
been respectful to all our guests?
Hold on, time out. You can't put Cecil in the same category with the other two guys. If he gives you more credit, then he disses himself.
He could have said 5-5.
Would you wouldn't have said 5-5 if I would have asked you.
No.
Well, there you go. So you'd have been dissing him.
So by the way, all this is possible. Here's what we got to do.
Yeah.
You say who's destroying? You go check out destroying. He's a guy who
He do it all.
They do.
Yeah, I don't know
DBs.
him. Who is he?
He's a guy who used to be a kicker.
Yeah.
He's tried out for kicking in the CFL, in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think he played at UCF.
Okay. Oh, he does all these trick kicks and stuff? No?
He does do some kicks.
Yeah.
But what he's known for now is 101s. So he does DB versus receiver 101s, and they go from city to city to city.
Okay, so let's go.
So they get high school players, regular players,
Yeah.
Professional players. He's done joints with Tyreek Hill, and basically he comes in, they sell it out, and they put the money on the table. Like they get.
All right, let's do it.
10,000.
We could have Tyvis against Cecil.
I got a bunch of people.
Me versus G. Bush
hell
on the line.
Oh hell no! I'm amping it up. Now listen, here's the thing.
If there's money on the wood, I'm telling you right now.
We could have Jason Lloyd against Earl in basketball.
You asking for a different animal. If I see the money on the wood, I'm not losing.
And you
I'm
know who
telling
else?
you, I'm
you
not
know who else?
losing.
Just the people that have been on the show. Come on now, we got Teddy again. We got Ted.
That's fine, and I'm pressing everybody.
You can't have Geno out there.
Oh, because he's current player. Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to put that money on the ground,
Bernie?
you can. No, he old.
Tim Couch?
I think Tim can throw it a little bit.
I mean, look at him. He's in great shape.
I would. Is Jamario O'Neal still around here? Is he around here?
How about Zastadil?
What about old dude that used to? He came after Teddy.
We're gonna have to talk about this more because Earl's got to get some super chats in. G.
Go ahead.
We'll talk about this more, but this could be a lot of fun. Go ahead, Earl.
Hey, so real quick, just a couple notes of business. We will not be doing Behind the Glass tonight. We're actually going to do Behind the Glass tomorrow. We're going to try to see if we can sneak Mikey McNuggets in since he's going to leave me and Anthony the hell alone anyway while he's on vacation. Mm-hmm. Might as well do Behind the Glass. Not many super chats today, so I'm going to read these and then get back to you all and you can finish out the show. As always, my bad. Super chats is brought to you by PCC Air Force. Looking for a job with career advancement and great benefits? PCC Air Force is a lead manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Air Force in Eastlake, Manor, Cliff, and Minerva are hiring for all positions starting at $18 and up. Plus, you get full benefit packages, paid time off, and signing bonuses. Apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more. We got Young Majestic 3303 says, Tyvis, I think curveball is an Ohio thing.
Oh, no wonder I don't know.
Never heard of curveball. Like that is a.
Well, G, did you know curveball?
What?
Curveball? You ever
curveball
played
game he was
curveball?
talking
Curveball is a Cleveland thing, Tyvis.
No, I'm not.
He doesn't know it, so it's a Cleveland. You knew it?
No, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. They throw the ball. It's like a wiffle ball, and it just curves.
I mean, you can use whatever. Have you ever heard of Tonk?
Yeah, but that's a card game, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've heard of it, but I don't know.
That's a black person game.
It is?
No, it's not.
Yeah,
I don't believe in that.
Here's the thing. There's different card games.
Yeah. Is it like spades?
Black people play spades. White people play euchre.
I play spades. What are you talking about?
Traditionally, black people play spades. White people play euchre.
I don't play euchre. I play spades.
Well, there you go.
So
you
I'm
have
black then. I love spades. My friends and I
Bull likes dark meat. There you go.
That's true. I do.
I'm talking about chicken. See, you see, stop it. You see? Yeah.
Real quick, two super chats and then Anthony made something for you all. Logan O, Tyvis, what is that shirt? Jersey is sick. That's the GOAT Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, this Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, you got to be versatile.
We were talking about it before the show.
You can't just wear basketball, football, and baseball. You got to throw you a hockey joint on there.
All right, we got 120 seconds.
That's Eric the Red.
Come on, now, and it's stitched.
Gary Coggin says defense better than stats, offense lead, and giveaway. So shout out to the fans that super chatted into the show today. Man, shout out to everybody that liked the show and rung the bell. And Steve, I'm sorry. Check this out.
We have one from Creative Juice. He sent one in as well.
Oh, that's fire.
I love that one.
Send me that immediately.
No offense, Anthony. I love this one.
Hey, send me that
Anthony's was
immediately.
good, but I love this one.
Offend him. Offend Anthony. I tried to tell him yesterday in your chat.
If I ever get down that small, I might walk around with a machete like that.
Look at that. We're both skinny there, too.
Man, that's
skinny
crazy.
itch.
And you showing your
Promoted
ankles.
producer just told me to kill Tyvus
That's
Mike.
true. I'm showing my ankles.
That's crazy, boy.
I got to start showing my ankles on set now.
This look like y'all when y'all was in grade school.
Oh, listen. I think I was born that size.
Damn.
Yeah,
Shout out to
nice.
Creative Juice, man. We love that.
Creative Juices.
I like that.
Good,
You doing
man.
it quick, man.
He is good. Good job, buddy.
All
All
right,
right,
so-
Earl, good job today.
Thanks, man.
Anthony, good job today. Thanks to Cecil Shorts for joining us. Thanks to Leroy for joining us. Tyvus, you're off the rest of the week. What do you got going on this weekend besides Christmas? Anything?
Is my mic on? Did he really kill my mic?
No.
I thought
Quickly, we got like 5 seconds. What are you doing?
working the Browns game.
Oh, okay.
Hey, man,
you in-laws for Christmas?
Yeah.
I might call
Merry
Tyvus
Christmas
to
to
get
you.
on
Merry
a
Christmas,
barbershop.
But he'll be here on overtime. Overtime, we'll talk little Cavs next.